Welcome to Baby Jake's Sleepy Stories, brought to you by Daryl McQueen. To watch all the Baby Jake episodes, find us on YouTube. Or, for the full range of audio sleep stories, subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
I'm 6 3/4, Ava. I'm not a baby anymore.
You, Jake, will always be my baby brother, and the same baby Jake who gurgled his way through amazing adventures. Would you like to hear a sleepy tale now?
Yes, please.
What about when baby Jake and Sydney the monkey meet a new spider friend? Here's how that adventure went.
It's time for an adventure. Yoggi Yacki. Magic fun with baby Jake. Yoggi Yacki. If you want to have some fun, Yoggi Yacki. Having fun with baby Jake. Yoggi Yacki.
Baby Jake was hanging out with the hamster noughts, bouncing gently in a shimmering silken spider web, its threads woven around the crescent moon. Twinkling stars watched over them in the majestic night sky. What a wonderful way to stargaze! Until baby Jake noticed two particularly bright stars that seemed to be blinking and staring right at him. "Hey, you twinklers! Are you watching me?" The stars winked back and then softly called his name. "Oh, baby Jake." Such a sad, soft voice coming from two very brightly shining stars who seemed to move closer and then fully revealed themselves. "Hi, I'm Suki." The eyes weren't stars that belonged to the night sky. These were eyes that belonged to a small, sweet, furry purple spider. The most friendly looking, but sad little spider that baby Jake had seen in a while. "I've heard such nice things about you, baby Jake, and now you're playing in my web. Welcome." But baby Jake couldn't help noticing that Suki seemed glum, and he asked her straight out, "Why are you sad, Suki?" Before Suki could answer, there was a loud rumble-grumble. "Oops," said Suki. "That rumble is my tummy. I'm so hungry, you see. I usually spin webs so I can catch food, and then the tummy rumbling stops." "Eek!" A panicked squeak came from the hamster noughts, who sped out and away from the web very fast. "We are not spider food, Suki." Suki was quite insulted. "Wait a minute," she said. "I would never, ever eat my friends." Hugely relieved all round, baby Jake wondered what Suki did hope to catch in her web as a snack to eat. Suki gave a very dramatic sigh and tremulously replied, "Now that's my problem, baby Jake. It's been so long since I've caught anything I like to eat that I no longer know what I do like to catch and eat. That's what makes me so sad." "How about comets?" suggested baby Jake. "Never. Far too crunchy." "Stardust?" "Totally tasteless." "Meteorites?" "Too meaty-alrighty." "Most spiders eat flies," suggested a tentative baby Jake. Suki, thoroughly insulted once more, said sharply that she never touched insects. She had been brought up better than that. Yet with all this mention of food, her tummy gave another big, hungry rumble. "Poor hungry me," said Suki. "Space is no place for a hungry, furry purple spider." Baby Jake knew in that moment what he needed to do. "Let's travel to a new place for you to spin another web and catch some food that you might really like to eat. Would you like to travel with me?" Spiders aren't usually invited along as travel companions, so Suki wasn't sure whether Baby Jake's offer was a serious one. "It's what friends do," explained Baby Jake. "We're friends," said Baby Jake. "We go on friendly adventures together." Suki nodded, and so they did. First, Baby Jake and Silky Spider waited and waited for the next fallen star to whiz by. With perfect timing, they both caught it. Off they flew with a giggle. What a pair of travellers they were! Whooshing through space majestically, dodging the odd curious comet, and just missing a merry meteorite. "Hiya! Watch where you're whooshing, it's a busy day in space," the meteorite breezed. On and on they journeyed on that falling star, skirting other stars and crossing constellations, heading towards Baby Jake's favourite blue and green planet, Earth. As they approached, Earth's blue seas sparkled invitingly below. Sukis Spider swiftly spun them a silken parachute, and she and Baby Jake floated the rest of their way down, gently skimming the undulating sea, splashed by soft, foamy waves. "Down there," said Suki, pointing a hairy leg at a couple of smooth rocks deep below on the seabed. "The perfect place to spin a web." And, excited to see what they might catch for Suki to eat, Baby Jake and Suki asked the star to dive down through the crystal clear water. How beautiful it is under the sea! Baby Jake marvelled at the bright colours of the coral, the shimmering soft seaweed, and the zipping shoals of tiny fish. It quite took his breath away. Suki didn't seem to notice any of it, though. She was expertly spinning a web between two rocks. Concentrating hard, round and round, the silken threads arranged themselves between the rocks in neat, concentric, shimmering circles, until finally her web was done. Baby Jake couldn't resist a little bounce on it before lunch. And then lunch arrived. A seafood smorgasbord. A couple of clams, a mussel, and a grumpy little crab all swam into the web. "Excuse me, but if you're planning on eating us, you'd best think again, young spider. We are not, nor ever plan to be Spider Lunch, thank you very much." That told her. Suki apologised and sent them on their way. "I definitely don't want to eat seafood anyway," she told Baby Jake. "Too fishy." And so that was that. They soon agreed that the sea was perhaps not the best place to find food for a spider after all. "Let's move on and try somewhere else," said Baby Jake. As luck would have it, a flying fish called Fabio was swimming past, flexing his rather impressive fins. "I hear you want to get out of the seafood game, amigos? Hop on my back. I'm flying skyward." So they did. Whoosh! Through a cloud of sun-dappled bubbles, bursting out of the waves and up into the fresh air, arcing through the sky towards... What is that? A beaky, feathery flash of green and red, flapped from behind a fluffy cloud. "Oh, it's Penny the parrot. I haven't seen Penny for ages," said Baby Jake. Hello, Jaki. I'm off to the jungle. Are you going my way today?" The jungle seemed as good a place as any to try spinning a new web and catching food. So Baby Jake and Silky Spider thanked Fabio for his help and hopped on Penny's back, crying, "Jungle, here we come." "Jungle, here we come," squawked Penny. Suki quickly spun Baby Jake and herself a pair of silky spiderweb seatbelts, explaining, "Parrots, Baby Jake, fly like helicopters. It's all hover, sweep, and a bumpy landing. Buckle up." And indeed it was. As they approached their jungle destination, Penny lowered her undercarriage before hurtling down through the leafy jungle canopy. "Hold tight, darlings, we're coming in." And with that, she skidded to an ungainly halt on the jungle floor, stopping just short of a chilled-out coconut palm, who leaned down and chuckled, "Hello, near miss." "Hello, near miss," Penny squawked back, as Suki and Baby Jake extricated themselves from their silken seatbelts with a "Thank you." "Thank you," said Penny right back at them before she fluffed her feathers and flew off. "Until another day, Baby Jake." "Look, Baby Jake." Silky Spider was squinting up at 2 jungle tree trunks. "This is, I believe, the most perfect place to spin a web. Maybe if I spin quickly, I'll catch something delicious in time for my lunch." Spinning straight lines of silk between the 2 tall jungle trees, then round and round in shimmering, spinning spirals, there was finally a lovely big sticky web. "Good job," said Baby Jake enthusiastically. But suddenly, and without warning, Baby Jake felt the ground beneath him moving and shaking and vibrating. The rumble of the earth below shook the tree trunks, causing the birds to squawk and abandon their nests. "Sorry, everyone," called Suki. "It's just my tummy rumbling. Nothing to worry about here." Poor Suki Spider. She's really, really hungry. Baby Jake gave her hairy tummy a tickle and crossed his fingers for her, hoping she would now, eventually, finally catch some food she wanted to eat. Buzz, buzz, chitter, chatter, buzz, buzz, buzz. Goodness, the jungle is a noisy place. Who's this now? "Fruit flies," Suki says, with interest. "You thought Penny the parrot was good with her wings. Fruit flies can beat their wings 220 times a second. Imagine that." Baby Jake didn't have to, though, because at that moment, with the fastest wings in the jungle, a busy, buzzing group of friendly fruit flies flew straight towards them. Buzz, buzz, chat, chat about this and that. They were so busy buzzing and chattering that they didn't see Baby Jake or Silky Spider or the beautiful, shimmering web she had just spun. Fly after fly after fly after fly flew right into the web. "Hi, Flo. Hi, Fred. Hi, Faisal. Hi, Fleur." Suki's fruit fly friends were very impressed with the superb workmanship of her latest web. So neat, so strong, so stretchy, so silky, so very, very sticky. "You are the best, Suki." Silky Spider was pleased. "Thanks, flies. I'd love to have you for lunch." "What?" said Flo. "No," said Fred. "Don't even think about it," said Fleur. "I don't want to be lunch," wailed Faisal. Suki's mouth dropped open in shock. "No, of course I won't eat you. You are my friends." Baby Jake reassures the fruit flies. "Suki was inviting you to have lunch with her, not be her lunch." The flies, a little embarrassed about the misunderstanding, said, "Oh. So, what are you having for lunch then, Suki?" Suki looked at Baby Jake, and Baby Jake looked at Suki. What a conundrum. Neither knew what she should have for lunch, although Suki had a feeling she was getting closer to the right answer. She could smell it in the air. But the fruit flies looked at each other. "Well, this is awkward," said Flo. "Don't worry about us. We'll find our own lunch," said Faisal. "Yes, we must fly," said Fred. "Bye, Baby Jake. See you soon, Suki," said Fleur. The 4 friendly fruit flies flapped their wings, 220 times a second no less, and buzzed off. Baby Jake thought carefully about everything he had learned about Silky Spider. She's a spider who doesn't eat space food, or fishy seafood, or flies, who she considers to be her friends. She'd eat lunch with fruit flies, but not eat the fruit flies themselves. What a conundrum! What would make her a perfect lunch? Suddenly, a mango dropped into Baby Jake's lap, making him jump so much he dropped it as soon as he caught it. Gone! Yum! Shame about that, thought Baby Jake, as he was feeling a little peckish himself. Yes, yum, said Suki, and smacked her lips. Baby Jake looked at the little spider and clapped his hands. Hold on. Do you like fruit? Is fruit the answer? Silky Spider, are you a hungry furry spider who likes eating fruit? Suki went quite dizzy delirious, in that way we all do when a food we love is mentioned but is temptingly just out of reach. Fruit, yes, mighty delicious fruit. I love it. But how do I catch fruit in my spider's web? Look. Baby Jake pointed up into the branches of the mango tree, groaning with juicy orange mangoes. Spin your web right here, Suki, flat as a catching net. Go, 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 and catch mangoes for your lunch. So Suki set to work, or at least she tried to. Try as she might, and believe me, she tried, she couldn't seem to produce the lovely, strong, sticky silk she needed to spin a web. Poor Suki was so hungry and so tired now that she had no energy left. I can't do it, Baby Jake. She sighed and slumped, stuck to the trunk of the mango tree. Those juicy mangoes just out of reach, so tantalizingly near but so far. I'm just too hungry, wailed Suki. And then, as if to agree with her, her little hairy spider tummy gave its loudest grumble yet. Grumble, rumble, rumble. The ground shook. Baby Jake shook. The mango tree shook. And with all that shaking, the mango tree let go of another of its juicy mangoes. It bounced down, just missing Baby Jake and Suki, and landed thud between them. Suki took a bite. Yum! Oh, I love eating mangoes, I do. And she nibbled and chomped until she felt strong enough to spin some silk for her web. I'm ready, she said, and she was. Round and round and round she went, creating her shimmering silky circles into a web that worked like a great big fruit-catching net. But now her tummy wasn't grumbling quite loudly enough to shake the tree, and the mangoes weren't falling into the web anymore. I know, squealed Baby Jake. He's full of good ideas. Sukey Spider, you didn't only make yourself a catching net, you made me a trampoline. Baby Jake started bouncing on the web. Boing, boing, boing. Up into the air he goes. He grabs a juicy mango. Sukey points a hairy leg. Over there, Baby Jake, bananas. Where? By the parrot's nest. By the parrot's nest, repeats the familiar voice of Penny Parrot. Baby Jake bounced, backflipped and boinged and somersaulted through the air collecting fruit. Here a banana, boing, boing. There a papaya, bouncy boing. Here comes a coconut, badoing. Oranges incoming, whee! Baby Jake was a fruity, bouncing blur as he sailed through the air collecting enough tropical fruit for a fruity spider feast. There's so much. Too much for Sukey to eat. She might be a hungry spider, but not a greedy spider. But Baby Jake knows what to do. He flaps his arms and buzzes like a busy, buzzy, buzzy fly. Clever. He summons their fruit fly friends. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Here they come. Fred, Faisal, Fleur and Flo. Back for a fruity feast. Savouring the flavour of the softest, squishiest bananas. Oh, and speaking of bananas, here comes Sydney the monkey. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Did someone say bananas? And she tucked in too. When all their little tummies were full to the brim, it was nap time. Sukey Spider spun a comfy, cozy nest for Baby Jake, high up among the soft, rustling leaves, just next to Penny Parrot's nest. Then Sukey Spider lovingly spun herself a silken pouch, into which she carefully placed the leftover bananas and mangoes, a snack for later. She blew Baby Jake a kiss, and he smiled back, snoozy and cozy in his silken nest. Baby Jake felt his eyelids become heavy as he watched Sukey steadily spin a silken thread up, round and round, up the branches of the tree, higher and higher, up into the clouds, delicately drawing her course back to her outer space home, somewhere near the shining crescent moon. Spin your own web gently, snuggling in your bed. Slowly turn, snugly spin, snoozy round and round. Rest your weary head. Slowly turn, snugly spin, slowly turn, snugly spin.
I've gone all sleepy over.
Just like Sukey Spider, Sydney the monkey, and those funny, snoozy fruit flies. Stay very still, Jake, and listen to how the story ends. Baby Jake whispered good night up to Sukey Spider. And Sukey Spider whispered good night back down to Baby Jake. The moon shone brightly, looking over everyone who was now snoozily asleep.
Deezy, deezy, do.
I deezy do you too, baby Jake. That means I love you too. Now it's time for you to sleep, Jake. Cozy and comfortable in your soft, still bed. More Yoggi adventures another day.
Good night, Ava.
Night-night, Jake. Baby Jake's Sleepy Stories is a Chalk and Blade and Daryl McQueen production for Daryl McQueen. Full credits for this episode are in the show notes. All this season's stories are available to subscribers exclusively on Apple Podcasts. And remember, to watch all the original Baby Jake episodes, just subscribe to our YouTube channel.
This is a house with lots of windows. And look.